Hey, welcome to another episode of The Doors That We Have Opened. I'm Blake McKay.
And I'm Bethany McKay.
And together we make the McKay Group Real Estate Team, where we are committed to helping you with your home, your investment property, your life. If there's any advice that we can give based off of the hard-fought wisdom that we have received through owning our own company, raising 4 children, and being in business together while trying to honor God and serve each other, we are here for you, and this is the place for you. Bethany, if people wanted to find out more about what you do, what we do as a company, where would they find you?
Instagram would be the easiest place at Nashville Top Realtor.
Nashville Top Realtor. And we are very excited to announce once again that our first episode of Nashville Next Door has been released. It is available on the American Dream TV network, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and multiple other streaming channels. So please check it out. We hope that you enjoy some of the cool stories that we show as a part of that TV show. And we could not be here today without the incredible Mitch. If you have any need for podcasting, videography, photography, blog work, social media platforms, Mitch, tell them how they can help you.
You can find us at City Limits Studios on all social media, and our social media company is Clutch Socials.
And reach out to him there. Cool. Well, in today's episode, we are going to be talking about some of the drama of real estate transactions as agents, only as agents.
Okay.
And so what I wanted to peel back the curtain for anyone who's tuning in and listening to our podcast of what it's like to be on our side of things. And really where this came from is the popularity of reality TV. Now, when we do our TV show, we very much wanted it to be unscripted. We wanted to showcase some beautiful places, highlight some incredible stories of real people, and give everyone a chance to speak in a non-scripted manner. We are not, that TV show is about the truth of the people that we're around, the places that we're around, and showcasing some real cool stuff. But there is no manufactured drama in it. Now, popular TV like Selling Sunset, are there some other ones?
There's all kinds of them. I just don't watch them because it makes me sick.
So real estate has drama.
Yes.
Naturally in it.
Every day, all day.
Every day, all day. Now, what film and TV producers is really expound upon that drama and make the emotions more palpable and the friction more grainy, and really highlight this ripping and tearing of the
each other apart,
which
I don't understand.
Yeah. So more than likely, what is happening in real life is a buyer and a seller, a buyer's agent and a listing agent working together.
That's the ideal world.
To get to the closing table.
Correct, because seller wants to sell and buyer wants to buy.
Yeah.
So we should be on the same team.
Yeah. That does not mean that it's without drama, far from it. But the idea is, rather than separating and like, I don't like you, you don't like me, let's make this a bigger deal and let's pull apart and try to come back together and make this a big confounded mess. We're trying to work together, put aside differences so that we can get to the mutual agreement.
Correct.
But all that to say, can you think of a time when there was like some real heavy emotion or some real surprising emotion or something really funny that happened in the process of either buying or selling a house? I
with the other agent on the side? It
doesn't have to be with the agent. It can just be the circumstances. Something that you thought, if this were on TV, this would be really funny or really cool or really surprising.
Yeah, it's funny because day in and day out, you get used to our job. Well, I get used to the job to where I'm like, that's just so normal in my world. And so sometimes it's hard to rethink up stories because I'm like, oh yeah, that's just what I do. But then when you say them out loud, people are like, you did what? Like, what happened? Because you're right. Most of the time in real estate, it is about, putting out fires. I think we do a lot more of psychology and in real estate than we do sales. I mean, we do sales too, of course, but it's a lot about putting out fires and putting out issues. But I think our funniest stories, I think, are of the houses that we've been in with the conflict of potentially causing the home not to close. So, I mean, the fun one that I thought of right off the bat is we had an investment home, and we had to do something called a final walk. And we had to do this final walk because there were some repairs done on the home before closing could happen. And so you and I went to the house to check on the home to make sure those repairs were done, so we could say, yes, repairs are done, they have been completed. Buyer's agent, buyer, you can go and complete your final walk, and closing is today at 3 p.m. I think it was something like that. And so you and I we go do our final walk. We're walking around. Everything looks great. Like the sellers had moved out. Nobody was living there. It was clean enough for the type of deal that we were doing at that time. And then not an hour later, after leaving that property, I get a phone call, and I answer it, and it was the police department. And they're like, we're here at this house, and we need to let you know that we're about to break down the door. And I was like, excuse me? I get so many spam calls, so many things. I was just like, can you tell me again who you are? And he's like, I'm so-and-so with Metro Police Department, and I've also got the SWAT team. They're all behind me. I don't have a phone number for the sellers. You are on the sign, and so I need to let you know that we are breaking down this door. And I'm like, why are you breaking down the door? I'm supposed to be going to the closing for this in a couple hours. I was literally just there. What's happening? And he's like, well, there is actually a barricaded suspect in that home. And I was like, what? Where was that suspect? Yeah. Because how long had he been in there? We don't know. We had just left the property not long ago. And so it turns out, I don't know, do you remember this house? Yeah. There's a downstairs basement. Uh-huh. And there was a vent missing.
So to go into the story a little bit more, my buddies on the SWAT team actually responded to that, and I asked them what was going on. Yeah, and they said that there had been a domestic violence incident 1 block over, and police had responded, and the suspect had fled.
That's right.
And patrol officers were in pursuit when the suspect ran into our listed home.
There was a broken window too, by the way.
Yeah, and I think he accessed it because when we did our walkthrough, the back door was an issue, and I brought it up to the sellers. I was like,
"That's right.
Yeah, any amount of force, and this back door is going to open." And I was prophetic because he found that door and let himself into the house, and locked the doors behind him and locked himself into an area of the basement that was pretty hard to access.
It was underneath the stairs, right?
Think about police trying to come and find you in corners and stairwells and stuff like that. All kinds of different angles. You don't know if the guy's armed or not.
Right.
So it's kind of a sketchy situation. And so he had fled from the house where the domestic violence was into our house. And one of my buddies actually yanked him out of the crawl space.
That's right.
Himself. And it was just so funny. And thankfully they just broke the door.
Yeah.
Rather than...
True.
They could have done all kinds of things to that house.
It's true.
They could have shot...
Imagine
holes. If not bullet holes, but tear gas.
Oh.
Imagine what that would have done to our
that would have really delayed
our
closing.
Settlement. Yeah, okay, so now the property's in a different condition than when you purchased it. So
right.
How much is it worth to you for tear gas remediation or whatever the case may be? Or
yeah. That would take longer.
Yeah.
We did have to fix the door frame and do all that before we could close it.
Yeah.
But just the thought of somebody hiding in a house when we walk through it, I think that's why, like, I really do not walk properties anymore without you, especially vacant ones, because man, you just never know. There was another one when you and I first started, you first started with me, and it was one of our investors' houses, and there had been a tenant living there, and tenant had moved out, and they had decided that they were going to sell the house. So they called us and said, Bethany, go there, check it out, tell us what kind of condition it's in, blah, blah, blah. And so when we went, I mean, the first thing when you open the door, like, the smell. Like, I'll never forget the smell of that house. And then you always correct me, but I'm pretty damn sure that there was an imprint in the living room floor of a body, and you're like, I've seen a lot of dead bodies, babe. That is not the smell of a dead body. But I thought it was, because I'd never smelled dead bodies like you have. But I was freaked out. I do remember that. And there was feces like everywhere. It was disgusting. And then there was a knife on the counter, and I was just like,
it was in the kitchen, so it's
I'm
fine.
done.
Yeah.
I'm walking out. You've got this, babe.
Yeah. I'm not saying that bad things didn't happen in that place, but I just know for a fact that was not the crime scene that you thought it was.
I totally thought it was. I was scared, and then I left. Another scary one was when I was early on into real estate. I had all 4 kids with me. You were working in the police department at that time, and they were all pretty darn young, elementary. Bo wasn't even in preschool yet, and or was in preschool. And somebody was like, hey, I'm going to have this listing in Antioch, and I want you to go to the house. And I didn't really know Antioch. There's certain pockets of Antioch that are pretty darn scary. There's been a lot of gentrification that's happened since those years, but
that statement alone should not prevent you from considering buying a home in Antioch, just so you know.
There's a lot that has happened over there, but I do remember you always telling me to be aware of my surroundings.
And you do that naturally pretty well, too.
Yeah, I do. But I just remember, like, this one car had been following me for a little while. And I was just like
tailing you?
Yeah,
like
tailing
directly
me.
behind you, following your turns?
Yeah. And every turn I was making in this area, it was rough. It was, definitely rough. And I was just like, where in the heck is this house? I have all 4 kids, and I can't leave them in the car. So once I do find the house, I need to bring them inside. And at this point in my real estate career, it was the scariest neighborhood I've ever been to. And so when we pulled up to the house, that car was still behind me. And it like kind of slowed down when I pulled into the house, and I was in a white minivan. And I remember Barrick, our oldest, being, okay, Mom, let's go see this house. And I just remember being so freaked out. And he starts to get out of the car, and I'm like locking the doors as fast as I possibly can. He's like, come on, Mom, let's do this. And I'm like, stay in the car, get in the car. And I was just like so freaked out, and he was just so excited to work with Mommy. And he's like, why are you yelling at me? And then he starts getting upset because I'm yelling at him, but I'm like, is my life in danger right now? Well, finally that car left. And they didn't get out of their car or anything, and it was all fine. And I caught my breath, and I was like, okay, kids, you're going to stay with Mommy. I should have just left. I should have just left.
But you were just being hyper vigilant, hyper aware.
I was like, I got to do this. I'm here. So I had 2 babies on my hip, I think. And Barrick, I was like, okay, hold on to your sister's hand. We're going in. And now I know this, but my first, seeing the house, the first thing that I saw was the house had no window screens at all. All window screens were out.
Now we know that's a telltale sign that someone has tried to access the house from the outside.
Correct.
And so whenever there's a house without window screens in place, we assume that there's squatters.
Yes.
And we usually come back later.
Yes.
Once we know
do
that
not
the house
enter
is
the
vacant.
property.
Yeah.
And so what did I do? I took my 4 kids into that
You
property.
went into the house.
I walked into the house, and I swear, and Barrick, I think, would say, our eldest would say the same thing too, that we saw a shadow, and it jumped through the window, and all I felt was just like movement, but I immediately went to, I'm crazy, I'm just scared, I'm just freaked out, everything's fine. But as we started moving through the house, there was a Coke bottle, there was cookies, there was a baseball chair just sitting there in the dining room. And so life had definitely recently been present in that house. There was a sleeping bag, there were some personal belongings, but then again in this house there was poop everywhere. There were rats. There was like the toilet bowls and the sink filled with, I think, weed and drugs and green stuff. And the kids were like, one mortified, one was like freaking out and crying, the other one was like, this is the best thing ever, like all the different personalities. And I'm just like, okay, I got into the house, now I need to finish the job, I need to take pictures, I need to take a video, and we're getting out of here. And so we did it. We got out of there and I did my job, but I swore to myself from that day on that I wouldn't go into vacant houses by myself, let alone 4 children.
Yeah. And just so you know, that's one house out of 500 that was pretty sketchy. So if we're painting a picture that Nashville is this dystopian, crime-ridden landscape, it's not. These are just some of the highlights and
funny stories.
But yeah, did you actually hear footsteps when you were talking about like seeing a blur or a glimpse of a?
All I remember is like movement.
But you heard it. Yeah.
Just, and it was gone, and they jumped out a window because that window didn't have a screen and it was open once I went through the house.
Yeah. Oh. So looking back now, you would have just called the seller and just say, hey,
this isn't happening.
We'll schedule another time.
Yeah.
I remember one time when we were doing an inspection walkthrough, and we had the inspector. This was a house that we were helping buy, and the homeowner was present,
which isn't always normal.
It's not always normal, but we
try to get them to leave if we can.
You know, the amount of people that work from home, it's becoming more common.
Yep.
So that wasn't out of the ordinary. And so we start doing the inspection. I'm with the inspector, and he's going through different stuff with me. He's taking notes, taking pictures and stuff like that. And he makes his way through the house, and he knocks on one bedroom door, and I hear like a teenage boy yelling, "Stay out of my room! Stay out of my room!" So I can't remember if the homeowner had told us that, hey, I've got a kid upstairs or anything like that.
I don't remember.
But there was very clearly a school age child that was in the house, and it was during school time. So it was surprising.
I don't remember him being young.
Yeah, he might have even been out of school. But he threw a temper tantrum in the middle of this inspection. Don't you, how could you go to my, how could you? And mom is like completely lost control of, and it's super evident in their interaction. Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie. I told you the inspection was going to come by. Da, 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 da. And the contractor is just, the inspector is just like,
well, I don't have to be here. We don't have to do this.
We can come back later. We can push.
Right.
Yeah. You know, closing doesn't happen until my inspection is complete. So
and
you want to sell your home, this inspection needs to be complete.
Yeah. And per the contract, you have to have your home available with the agreed upon time. You have to have stuff moved out of the way so an inspector can do their thing. You have to have the home open for these inspectors.
Yeah.
And so we're like, we'll just reschedule.
And so after she was told that, like, I think the kid stormed out of the house and burnt rubber out of the driveway to drive out of the house. And like the whole interaction, I was looking at the mom like, can I whip your child for you? Like, this is the most disrespectful behavior I've ever seen. He's treating you like trash. There's no way that any child of mine or any child around me should ever talk to their mother that way. And I just always think back to them, and I really hope that they got it sorted out. But I don't think so. Like, I think he was just, he went through his whole life without experiencing discipline. You know, I can only imagine being raised by a single mom, how difficult that is. But he's gonna, that guy is gonna have a hard time of things. And
I mean, he almost ruined the entire inspection. And it wasn't like, I remember yelling and screaming and fighting. It wasn't just like a no thanks, Mom. It was like a whole shindig.
I could have explained that more, but you definitely had to have been there. But yeah, that's stuck out. It
was one of those where it's like, I'm going to stand outside the house and wait till y'all figure this out.
Yeah.
And then I will see what happens next.
Yeah. He was coming unglued. He was not keeping up appearances for anybody or showing any amount of respect to his mother. Yeah,
I've had quite a few things when we're doing inspections, to the point now where it's like, I don't really want buyer or seller present when the inspection is going on, because the inspector should be doing their job and we should just let them do their job. And then we should have a conversation with the inspector afterwards with the report, just because there's so much drama that can go on and so many people's emotions play a part in inspections that it can literally become unhinged. And you've got dads, you've got grandpas, you got a cousin who knew somebody so well. And it's just like,
I spent my life in construction.
It just throws so many things off.
Well, it's I can think of one time where it went really well though. Like the house in Lebanon, I can't say their names, but so this house that we were helping, a older couple that was retiring, they moved from California, and they bought a house in Lebanon. And the seller of that house had some really cool hobbies. Like, he had a gun room that was an arsenal. Like, he just had,
that's right,
he had probably $50,000 or more worth of guns and gun related accessories in there, like big 50 cal sniper rifles, Barrett 50 cals, and just everything. So he really liked his hobbies. He really liked off-road trucks. He had a couple of them.
That's right.
He spared no expense. He spared no expense when it came to remote controlled airplanes, which are not cheap, and actually outdoor lawn care equipment. Like, all of his stuff, between his chainsaws, brush cutters, lawnmowers,
he had a lot of
lawnmowers. It was all Husqvarna equipment, and honestly, it looked like it hadn't been used very much. So he just bought everything like brand new, top of the line. So on the day of inspection, the buyer wanted to come in and talk with the inspector, and the seller stayed home
because of all the guns, right?
But probably he wanted to keep an eye on his stuff, even though it was pretty well locked and secured and everything. But you got the seller sitting on the couch and saying, y'all come on in. Let me tell you all about the house. Stuff that's not going to happen you're not going to see this on the inspection. So both sides, and I'm sitting in between.
What do you do?
Yeah, I'm sitting and I'm like, oh, I hope this goes really well. And it did. Like, the seller was super charitable and super nice and awesome. And he was excited to move onto his next place in life, but he loved his home, and he wanted to tell the buyers about the home and like things that they should keep in mind when it comes to maintenance and stuff like that. And I just remember, I remember you texting me, like, you had no idea that the seller was still there. And you were texting me and you were like, how's the inspection going? And I said, good. The seller's here.
I don't remember. I probably lost it.
And you were like, no, they're not. And I'm like, yes, they are. And we're talking.
And I was probably like, what?
And you were like,
what the F?
What are they talking about? And I was just like, everything's going super well, super good. But at the same time, I was bracing myself, because at any point the seller could say something that could derail the buyer's interest in the home. Like,
or say something stupid or
wrong, offend them, like just some kind of personal offense. I'm like, well, I don't like them, so I'm not going to sell to them. I'm not going to buy from them.
That's a real thing.
Yeah,
that's happened.
Yeah, and so that was one thing where I was like, I forgot about that one. I feel so uncomfortable, and I'm just gonna like try to play defense for whatever comes out of everybody's mouth.
Right.
I'll say, well, what they meant to say was if something bad came out, but it never did. And they were just really sweet people.
That was a really chill closing. I forgot about that one. And they even gave them gifts.
Yep.
When we came.
Left some really cool flashlights behind, and maybe
I think the lawnmower. I think we negotiated the lawnmower for them. But yeah, when it goes smooth, it's actually, I've gotten to the point where that is actually scarier to me than it not going smooth, because I'm like, well, that's normal. That's supposed to happen. When it all goes smooth, I'm almost like, okay, what shoe's going to drop? What's going to happen? Just because I'm always anticipating putting out fires. I mean, it's great when it goes smooth, obviously.
Yeah.
But in real estate, I mean, you just never know what can happen. Like recently, I just had a closing where I got a call that we couldn't close on the property because there was a lease for $1 on the property that was from like 40 years ago. And the commercial space that was renting this land right where my seller's house sat wasn't even there anymore. Like it was gone, but they still had an active lease in place for $1.
Yeah.
And so then there's liability there. And anyways, we ended up getting it closed about a week later, thanks to our title company. But yeah, I mean, you just never know.
Yeah.
What can happen?
Yeah. And it's funny because this story wouldn't make for good TV, but I think I can paint a picture of a decision where we made a decision not to work with somebody, and our president for Benchmark, our regional brokerage, Philip Cantrell, had just done a big talk on getting your disclosure right. Like if an agent screws one thing up, it can usually be in serious liability, serious legal trouble. It has to do with disclosure.
Yeah.
And
property condition disclosure is what he's talking about right now.
Exactly. And so that's the material changes or defects that you as the agent are aware of.
And have to legally disclose.
You got to talk about it. You got to say, hey, there was flooding at this, and this is what was affected. Hey, this is the deal with the home. It's not quite right because of this issue. Like if we know about it, we have to disclose it. And
now, if the problem's been fixed, if there's no problem, there's no problem. There's no problem.
But but we were sitting down doing a listing representation. A listing presentation, and this client had come recommended. How did we?
From a referral from another crazy person. That was a hard closing. I should have known. Like, she just referred
me to
a friend
of another client.
A past client.
Or another client.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
She just referred me on to.
And so it was actually a pretty big house on a really big lot. So it would have sold for a decent price for the area that it was in. Mm-hmm. And we were sitting in and doing our listing presentation, and this woman like took control of the time that we were together.
Bless her.
We barely got a word out. She was talking about the house, and she was talking about a lot of things wrong with the house.
Everything.
A lot of things were wrong with the house, and she had like no description of the work that had been done to fix the house. Some of this stuff you needed licensed contractors for.
She had no invoices.
You need licensed electricians for electric work. Like, you need that.
Plumbers, foundation.
And she
roofing.
it was a laundry list of things that she had done with the house, and she just said, I just found whoever, and I don't think that they're licensed. They fixed the thing. And we were like, okay, well, we need to know who they are.
But then it wasn't fixed.
It wasn't fixed. It wasn't done right. We need to be able to disclose this to the next buyer, because they got.
And she had moved rooms around that, like, moved like major walls in rooms, and there were not enough bathroom. Like, the septic was, I forget what it was, but then like she put a bathroom in a room and thought it was good and like bring more value, and it was like, no, this is not how you bring value to a property. And like, she did all these like really weird things.
Yeah.
Super weird.
Yeah.
And we just sat there for like an hour, like whatever, and she was ready to sign with us. And okay, here's the kicker. Do you remember what she did for a living?
She was an attorney.
She was a lawyer.
Yeah.
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 So she was cray-cray. Her house was a mess. And she was a lawyer. And so I was like, you know what? We're not going to sign right now. I'll get back with you to make sure you're a good fit for us.
Right. So there were so many red flags, because
so many red flags.
There was the property, her not getting that, like, no, we need to dial this in. What's been done? Who's it been done by? How can we verify?
How can we even market this?
The authenticity of the work, and
she wanted top dollar for this house.
And just like
over top dollar.
Her being in the law world, like recognizing that she might be a little bit more litigious than, or quick to go to litigation,
or come after us somehow.
If there was something. So there was just like one after the other where we were just like, you know what?
Yeah.
I think we're going to let this one go.
Yeah. I was like, see ya. But you know what I did do? I ended up referring that to somebody so they could be the listing agent. And I was like, look, these are all the red flags. Take it or leave it if you want it. They took it, and I got 25% still at the end of the day.
Yeah. And that agent says
it was horrible.
No, it was.
Oh,
I thought it was good. You tell me.
I don't remember.
I heard that it was the best, because I spoke to the agent after, and she said that seller was her best client she's ever had.
Oh, wow. See, I don't remember that. Well, shoot, we missed an opportunity.
Well, either that or their personalities just gelled so much better.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was something else I was thinking about, like some of the things that stand out. And ultimately, real estate is a lot of fun, and it's a great way, if you're professionals like us, to provide for your family and help people with the most expensive financial decision of their life. You know, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Most of us just aren't in the lifestyle of making hundreds of thousands of dollars in a single transaction happen all of the time. So when you do that one time, when you do that one time, that's something that we want to help you, guide you in that that decision-making process of how do you get the most for your house, how do you, and if you're buy it with all of the features that you want, negotiating skillfully for you.
And not get into a lawsuit.
Yeah, and avoid some of the pitfalls. So yeah, these are some of the things that stand out in the past of working together. I hope
the funny stories behind some doors.
It won't make for good TV, but it does make for a cool story. And so I hope you got a kick out of it. And join us next time as we talk some more about real estate and lifestyle and family and faith on The Doors We've Opened.